Sum of the sequence. So here, let's quickly go over the sum of sequences. There are formulas given on your formula sheet, so you should just know which one to use and how to use. A corner section of a stadium has 8 seats along the front row. Each successive row has 2 more seats than the row preceding it. So there are 8 first, and then 2 more, so 10, then 12, 14, and so on, okay? So as you can see, it's increasing by 2, so it is arithmetic sequence. And the question is, if the top row has 24 seats, and that's 24, how many seats are in the entire section? So what do? You have to find n. So that is something that we have to figure out. So it's n over, as you can see the formula here for arithmetic. The first term is 8, and the last seat, it had 24, and you have to divide by 2. So what is n? That's the question. So what you can do is, this is the nth term. So the nth term, if you come up with the explicit equation, it is always 8, the first term plus the n minus 1 times the common difference, which is 2 for this case. So now what we have is 24 as our last term, and we are looking for the n. So when you distribute it, you get 2n minus 2. So 24 equals to 6 plus 2n. So when you move 6 to the other side, we get 18 equals to 2n. So when you divide by 2s, you get n equals to 9. So then what do? You plug it in, 9 here for the n. So that means there are 9 rows. And then you plug into the calculator. It's 9 times 32, 8 plus 24, divided by 2, which is 9 times 16, which is 144. There are a total of 144 seats. Okay, that was arithmetic. What about here? How do you find the finite series for geometric? So here's the formula for the finite series for geometric. So here, what are we doing? This is our first term, and what are you doing each time? You're multiplying by negative 1/3, right? And then you multiply by negative 1/3 to get positive. The denominator increased by 3 times, and so on. So for the series, there are how many? When you write the explicit rule for geometric sequence, it's the first term times the ratio right here. Negative 1/3 raised it to n minus 1. But here, the last term is 10. That means n equals to 11. So this is 11th term. So now let's plug into the formula. It's the A1, the first term. So series of 11 terms equals to 4. The first term for the first term, and 1 minus ratio, which is negative 1/3, and n is 11, divided by 1 minus negative 1/3. Use a calculator. These are not easy to evaluate without a calculator. So I'll use the calculator. So let's evaluate, and the parentheses must be outside, right? So let me evaluate this first, okay? So it's 4 times, it's 4 times 1 minus parentheses negative 1/3, raise it to 11, which is, hit math to change it to a simplified fraction. Oh, there's no fraction. So it's almost what? 1. Do you see it? Let me just double check. Yes. It's like 1.00. So minus 1.000. And then what's 1 minus negative 1/3? So this is 1 is 3 over 3 plus 1/3 is 4/3. Okay. Here, actually, it's 4 times just 1, not minus, because this became 1, right? So it's 4 times 1, 4, divide by 4/3, which becomes 3, right? 4 divided by 4/3 is, no, 4 divided by 4/3, don't forget the parentheses, is 3. So the sum becomes 3. So that's because you start from 4 and you're adding 4/3, and then you add 4/9, and as you keep adding these, this becomes very small number. You see, negative 1/3 to the 10th is like almost 0. So later you're not adding anything. So it's just the first few terms. But when you plug into the formula, you get 3 for the sum.